Ratchet and Clank walkthrough, so this will be what I believe to be the ending of the time we'll be spending on this planet, which is a good thing because that last level made me so annoyed. And for the rest of this planet, we will be running into our first boss fight, so you'll want to stock up on ammo if you haven't already, and if you can buy some new weapons, then you may want to consider buying them. Right there, I got the Taunter, which will have a pretty useful use later on, and there is a use for it in this level that I didn't actually take full advantage of, but there is one level later on that the Taunter will come in really helpful. But other than these few times, the Taunter really hasn't seemed to help me that much. This is also where you can learn that your quick select menu will get filled up. And you see me clicking around here wondering where the heck my Taunter is. Well, to figure that out, you have to push start and then open up the quick select menu, and you'll have to put the Taunter in place of another weapon that you have, probably one that you haven't used very often. Now, this place is kind of odd. There's these frogs that are different colored than the other frogs we've run into, and they're going to be coming around over on the ceiling, and then they'll pop out of the vents, and you'll need to take care of them. And these things can team up on you pretty quickly, and they can attack you and take you down pretty fast here. And the checkpoint for this seems to be the beginning of the world, so if you die up until you get to the boss, I'm pretty sure there's a checkpoint right before the boss, but if you die anytime before the boss, then you'll have to do this all over again. So you don't want to lose much health here if you can help it. Just try to take out as many frogs as you can and try to lose as little health as possible. Unfortunately, I took 2 hits there, which was 2 hits too many, but I don't think I died throughout the rest of this level anyway, so it didn't really matter. You're also going to be running into these guys who will spew these whatever that is at you, and what's really annoying is that that goes up. Like, why did that go up? Which means that could have hit me if I were jumping out of the way of it. This game is like really good at making you scared for your life, and well, I don't know, I mean these next few worlds are a little bit mean, but once you get a health upgrade later on in the game, it becomes a little bit more manageable. So thankfully there are some health jars or health boxes from time to time, and then we get to go into this room. So as in the last video, these mist vents will hurt you if you touch them, so climb up here on the left and then wait for the vents to stop spewing their mist, and then you can climb on up to the platform and all the way up here, and here there are 2 health boxes, so if you're pretty low you should be able to fill it up pretty easily, and there's yet another one in the background over there. So once you kill that guy, you just need to walk in and be warned, there's going to be some frogs in these boxes, and this will make you paranoid for boxes for the rest of the time you play this game, but strangely this seems to be one of the only times stuff bursts from boxes, so that's kind of nice. But then there's yet another health box, so even if you are pretty low at this point, you should be safe. Now in this room we need to take out 2 of those electric ball swirly thingies that are powering that gate. But when you do that, 2 of these enemies will get released. Now you just want to take care of them one at a time, and if you stay far enough back, they're not really going to bother you too much. And I guess I went with the pyro gun here. That's kind of weird, but anyway, yeah, okay, I see. If you use the pyro gun, you can keep them at bay, and they won't be able to whack you with their stupidly long-ranged attack. I hate these enemies. I really hate these enemies. So anyway, just use whatever gun makes you happy, take out both of them one at a time, and then you can continue your way through, in which you will run into more frogs. So if I didn't explain it better when I bought it, the Taunter will bring enemies towards you, and in some cases you can use that taunt to bring them into an electric fence or a couple of explosive boxes, but the problem with the Taunter is that there's not always something to bring them to, so you just end up attracting a ton of enemies to you, and the Taunter will also break explosive boxes, which I think is really annoying. I don't know why it does that, but it kind of ruins some of your plans if you're trying to taunt people into some boxes and you just blow them up while doing that. So I don't use the Taunter that much. I haven't found it to be particularly helpful in my experience, but like I said, there are some places where that is helpful, and if you think you can see any way to bring enemies to a place where you can take care of them without actually having to do anything, then, you know, do that. If maybe you'll see stuff I didn't see. Anyway, so I just stick with the other guns. The blaster ends up being my favorite for now, and the flamer ends up being a little bit more useful than I expected. Now, I believe this area is a checkpoint. I think any place that has one of these vendors is a checkpoint. But I don't really know. I didn't die from this point on, and we're going to be running into a lot of frogs, and also more of those stupid turtle-snake hybrid whatchamacallums. Now here, Glove of Doom will be extremely helpful, so be sure to use it, and if you haven't already, be sure to buy it, and then you can just toss it right into the pit here, and they'll be able to take care of everything. And really, throughout the whole game, Glove of Doom is going to be the thing you're going to want to use if there's too many enemies, because even if it doesn't get rid of every enemy, it can get rid of a bunch of them, and getting rid of a bunch is a lot better than dealing with them all at once on your own. So try to keep your Glove of Doom ammo stocked. They are always worth the extra time to search for that ammo crate, and always worth the bolts when you have to buy them from the store. Now this room is a little bit interesting. There's a few places that kind of have hidden areas, but they're not really too hidden. You can just walk into these different cells here, and then you can get the different boxes, and up on top there will be a cell that has a room in it that has something in it that I can't remember what it's got in it. I think it's got a lot of frogs, but we'll see here. So you'll also need to take out some of those electricity balls powering that fence over there. So take both of those when you want to, and if you just want to go explore a little bit, you can just jump up here. See, there's all these frogs in here, and I think I used the Glove of Doom. I don't really remember. Am I using the pyro? I don't know why I'm using the pyro so much. I mean, I do not like that weapon. So this will be one of the easiest golden bolts that you'll be able to get, and some of them are pretty easy, but some of them are weirdly placed. Now, I don't actually know the purpose of the golden bolts. I'm imagining they are for completionists, and also for just probably some upgrade later on, but this is not going to be a golden bolt guide, so, you know, whatever. That little antenna sticking out of the ground will be helpful in the future, but then again, it also may not be helpful in the future, and I'll explain that when we get the helmet that allows us to use that antenna. So then you can take a look at some of these other cells. You'll see there's not a whole lot more in them, and take a glance at the map to see how close you are to the question mark, which really is good to do every now and then. Just open up the map, see how far you are from where you need to go, and that'll let you know if kind of your near checkpoint. It seems to be mainly the beginning of the level, and then halfway to a question mark, somewhere between there will be a checkpoint. And sometimes there's not, which is really annoying. So now you have to deal with a bunch of these gates and a bunch of these enemies. Now here, I think I missed a chance with the taunter. I think you can taunt these enemies into these electric gates, and then you can take care of them that way, but I didn't know that, or I forgot that I had the taunter and I didn't do that. To take out those orbs powering the gates here, you'll just want to crouch and then swing or throw your wrench at them. And for these other enemies, you can sit pretty far back and take them out, but as soon as you get on the platform, they're all going to start attacking you, and that can make it a little bit annoying. But if you just aim correctly, you should be able to hit them at pretty much any angle, and then you'll be able to take them out. So this guy over here isn't really too difficult. You can just look at him and off he goes. And like I said, if you're out of ammo, I'm pretty sure you can taunt them into the gates, because these gates do damage you, and they also damage enemies, because it's one of the games where whatever damages you damages the enemies, and that's pretty uncommon these days. So anyway, this will be the last platform you'll have to deal with anybody, and they will give you 2 health orbs over there, which is very nice, but luckily I don't think I actually need them. Now you can get rid of this if you want to. It looks like you may actually have. Okay, no, you don't have to get rid of that. But if you want to go back easier, then get rid of that other gate. And then down drops the first boss. So first thing, just try to fling as many bullets at him as you can as he's walking towards you. And then he's pretty easy to dodge, actually. The hard part with this boss is trying to deal with all the enemies he'll be swinging at you later. Now if you notice, he is just barely faster than you, and as soon as he gets up to you, he will start to swing at you, but he'll also stop, which will give you enough time to get away from him. Once you take out a third of his health, then he will send all of these frogs at you, and he'll send a couple of waves, and these frogs did more damage to me than this guy did. But luckily there are some health orbs laying around, and once you take out 2 waves of those frogs, he'll come after you again. If he gets too close, just let him swing up for attack and walk away immediately, and he won't be able to hit you. And then you can throw Glove of Doom, or you can try to blast him with the blaster while he's in the middle of his attack. The blaster would be one of the harder ways to actually take this guy out, but the Glove of Doom is the easiest and definitely one of the more efficient ways. So be sure you have ammo for the Glove of Doom, and even if you do, you're probably gonna run out before the end of the boss. Now, I would make sure you have at least 1 or 2 for these guys, because, again, these guys are probably worse than the boss actually is, and 2 Glove of Doom ammos takes care of him right away, and then all you have to do is deal with him. So, you can take him out with your wrench if you want to, but that'd be pretty risky. Otherwise, just switch to your blaster, and then you can kind of dance around with him and try to get it to aim correctly. The aiming for this isn't really spectacular, it's kind of hit and miss, but it shouldn't take too many more hits to take him out. You may be pretty low on your ammo, so make sure you have other weapons, and be sure to take out some of the ammo crates if you actually need to. So that'll be it for this world, and also for the first boss fight. And
thought I was a goner this time. Some nano-wit in genetics must have left the cages open again.
You could come down now.
Honestly, a gadget engineer deserves a bit more respect, if you ask me.
So, you are an inventor?
Gadget engineer. I create revolutionary devices for Executive Chairman Drek. For instance, Viola. My soon-to-be patented grind boots. Look, I need to get out of here so I can find a new job. How about I sell you these? At cost.
Sell? After we just saved your scrawny butt?
All right. I'll give you the employee discount, too. Well, thanks. I'm gonna get out of here while I still can.
You've got the grind boots. Grind, just jump onto the rail and grind.